We just heard some encouraging and inspiring words from Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth, echoing history and the previous threats that her nation and the world has faced. We will succeed, she says. There are better days ahead. They will return, and that they will. For reaction to what we just heard, let's go to Nile Gardiner. He's in Washington, D.C. You know, Nile, she echoed that 1940 speech from Windsor Castle, the same place when London faced the Blitz. She is 93 years old. The monarchy holds a very special place in the hearts of so many. What does it mean for her to have said this and addressed her people?
Well, Eric, I think this is a historic address to the British people by the Queen. She is a tremendous leader. She has led the British people now for 68 years. She has guided 14 British prime ministers. She is someone of immense grace, of tremendous leadership ability, someone who inspires the British nation. I thought today she gave a very moving address, which truly will not only inspire, I think, the 65 million British people, but also people across the Commonwealth, over 50 nations, but also here in the United States, and millions of Americans as well have been watching the Queen's address. And I think this is a historic moment here with the Queen addressing not only the British people, but also the world as well. And she is a leader of tremendous optimism, of tremendous faith. And she is calling on the British people and also the world really to unite together to face one of the greatest crises that we have faced in modern times. And I think this was a stirring, a powerful address by the Queen, and a great moment as well in British history.
You know, she offered optimism that we will get through this, that the better days will return. She, of course, thanked the emergency workers and health workers, as well as the National Health Service there that's been under such strain. The entire Commonwealth basically on lockdown. It kind of reminds me of, we remember the King's Speech, 1939, King George sitting by the radio. It really is a chance not just for her subjects, but for us here in the United States, as you pointed out, to rally against this, to stay home, to remember why we are staying home, to try to protect ourselves and each other, when in fact her own son has had coronavirus and thankfully recovered. And she is 93 years old and her husband older.
Yes, absolutely. And I think that, the Queen is extremely resolute in her determination to stand up for her nation. And I think that above all, this was a speech with an extremely hopeful message. After all, the Queen lived through the Blitz of World War II when German bombers bombed London for several years. She lived through that. She understands the tremendous hardships the British people have faced in the past. And also, of course, I think she is a monarch with a tremendous belief as well in the Anglo-American special relationship, in the bonds that unite the United Kingdom and the United States. And I think she has a deep love for the United States, for the American people. And she has always believed, I think in her heart, that the Anglo-American special relationship really is the beating heart of the free world. So this was an address, I think, not only for Britain, but also for the American people to cherish as well. And I think that she really embodies the spirit of tremendous optimism, this can-do fighting spirit that is there in Britain at this time. And it's the same spirit that exists here on this side of the Atlantic as well in the United States.
You know, you point out, Niall, she is a living touchstone to history, to Britain and the United States facing the Nazi menace, who stood up against that. Now we face this menace. Boris Johnson himself has coronavirus. He's kind of barricaded inside 10 Downing Street, we're told. They put up furniture, by his door. He's kind of irascible and has come under some criticism for not doing enough, fast enough. The National Health Service we hear about, strained, may not be able to deal with all this. So finally, Niall, your thoughts on the Prime Minister. We certainly hope the best wishes for him and that he gets better. What is England in for? What are the British people in for? And what lessons can we take here in America from them?
I think the British have approached this crisis with the spirit of a warrior nation that is not going to be defeated. And I think that Boris Johnson, in many respects, embodies that. And even though he has the coronavirus, he's still working away in behind the scenes in Downing Street, largely by video conference. He continues to inspire the British people. I think that British leadership is very powerful at this time, and we need to have a strong Britain on the world stage. This is also the Brexit era as well. Britain's just left the European Union, and I think that Britain will be, a shining beacon of liberty and hope. I think across the world, and so this is an important time for Boris Johnson. Fortunately, I think he's making a swift recovery, and we wish him all the best. But I think the British people above all have that kind of tremendous warrior nation spirit that the American people have as well. And the United Kingdom and the United States, I think, will continue to lead. The U.S.-U.K. alliance will continue to be the most powerful partnership in the world. And together, of course, we will defeat the virus and continue to lead on the world stage.
We have been partners. We will continue to be partners. We faced a threat under Winston Churchill, one that Her Majesty lived through and addressed in her speech, saying this generation will face the same threats and live up to the same resolve and determination that previous generation did back in World War II. Nile Gardiner, thank you for your thoughts. We wish the very best for the Prime Minister and the British people, and for Prince Charles and the Queen. Thank you. Niall, good to see you. We will get
very
through
much.
this.